Hello, friends. I am so excited to be here to show you a gorgeous card that I made for my swap for my Maui trip. I recorded this video ahead of time and we are leaving in the morning. So by the time you see this, we will hopefully be in Hawaii. It feels like we would never get there, but at this point, we're going. So I made this swap to swap with my friends that have earned the Maui Incentive Trip, and I'm just kind of taken with it. We received a gorgeous packet of information, and this is the pamphlet that Stampin' Up! Designed, and I couldn't stop looking at these colors. I just wanted to make a swap that just like used all the colors that were in this pretty book that they made. So this is what I came up with using some new stamp sets. Of course, we got to go new. Spiral die and color and contour. So these are the two stamp sets that I used. And this card is actually surprisingly pretty simple, but I had to make 26 of them. So I wanted to make sure that I could do it. And actually, this is one of the first things I did to get ready for my trip, believe it or not. You guys know me, I'm kind of a last-minute swap girl, but I wanted to get it done and make it pretty. So, all right, so you are gonna, when you're using the spiral die stamp set, I'm gonna show you first how to use it. You want to get your Stamparatus, okay? Definitely need that. And you're gonna start with a piece of white that's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So a full like card front sized to work with. We're going to eventually cut it down, but we want to start with a full size. All right, so you're going to stick it in your Stamparatus, and then you're just going to set your spiral die set right over it. Just center it. We're going to cut off quite a bit of it, so it doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. And then we're going to pick it up with our Stamparatus. Okay, and then I am using this corner of my paper as a guide, okay? So just to kind of make sure that my white paper stays where it needs to be. Now, we're going to take our Stamparatus, and the two colors that I chose, I played with some different pinks, but the pinks that I settled with that seemed to be in the pamphlet were Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. So that's what you're gonna see with this spiral tie-dye background here. So I'm just gonna start, doesn't matter which one you start with, but I'm gonna ink up this whole, so this is a background stamp. We love to use the Stamparatus when we're using our background stamps because sometimes our background stamps don't stamp completely the first time, so we have to do it again. This stamp set actually stamps pretty well the first time. Thank goodness, because I had to make 26 of these. Okay. So we're gonna move this here so you can see it. All right, we're going to shut this down onto our paper. And I like, when I'm using my Stamparatus, I like to like get my elbow in it because I have arthritis in my hand. So I like to use my good elbow here. So you're gonna really give a good contact with that paper. I know because I did this 26 times that you wanna get it really good and see how that's not completely done. So we're gonna go back up here and really push it in that area. Awesome, okay. So, and honestly, with this spiral die set, you're gonna see blotches, and it's supposed to look that way, okay? If you look on the front of the spiral die stamp set, it's not a solid stamp. It is, I guess it's probably a distinctive stamp. Let's look. I can't remember. Let us look. I don't think it is, but anywho, here it is on the background stamp page, okay? $17, wonderful price point. I see things like graduation cards using your two schools' colors. Totally cool. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this is so easy. We're going to take this piece and we're going to turn it all the way around, okay? We're going to line it right back up with that corner, all right? And then we're going to clean our stamp. So this is gonna get that Flirty Flamingo off. And now we're gonna use Petal Pink. All right, so we're just gonna ink this up. And I can tell you, background, you may or may not know this, but background stamps use a lot of ink, okay? So like during the course of making these 26 cards, I re-inked my ink pads. So this card that I'm making is going to be quite a bit darker than this card that I'm showing you. This was after many, many stamps. I like this look. It's very muted. And then we're going to have this more dark look. Exact same color scheme, just after the ink pad is less inky. Okay, so we're lining it back up here. Remember, we turned it. And we're just going to smack that down and get our elbow in it again. You decide how you're going to do it. Some people stand over their stamparatus and really kind of smash down into it. So just whatever works for you. I like to give it the elbow grease. Wow, look at that. Isn't that cool? I'm going to give it a little, usually the part where you're going to have less contact is up in by the hinge. So make sure and give it lots of love there. And then it looks like down here I could probably give it some attention. Awesome. Okay. Neat. Oh, Frito. So this is Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink in combination. And this is when it has been re-inked recently, and this is when it's not. So you decide what kind of color palette you want, and you can either kind of blot out your ink pad, or you can just keep making tie-dyes until it's the color that you want. But I like them both here. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so we're gonna go, I usually just look, these are great, both edges are great here, so I'm just gonna go like so. But on this next cut, you can see how I have a little white here and a little white here. So first I'm just gonna trim off the smallest part of one edge, and then I'm just gonna go 5 1/4 on this side. And actually I'm gonna have to do it down here. You know what? I'm doing 5 by 3 3/4. I forgot. Sorry, guys. So 5. Let's go back over here to 3 3/4. Okay. So now you've got a perfectly stamped piece, okay, and you just leave yourself some extra room. So every time I'm doing tie-dye, I just leave myself extra room, and then oh my goodness, and trim that down. I'm so sorry, friends. Okay, so now we're just going to build this card. So we've got a Petal Pink card base, 4 1/4 by 11, and we're just going to layer on a oh my goodness, seriously. We're going to layer on a shaded spruce. That shaded spruce did not like my Stampin' Seal Plus. All right, now this, I used the Petal Pink ribbon on these cards. I actually gave my Petal Pink ribbon to my mom, who's using it to cut the cards that we're going to make at Stamp Club. We're actually going to make this card at my Stamp Technique Club. So it's a great class. We're meeting live next month. I can't believe it. But we also have a great online version. We're going to make another card with the tie-dye spiral die set. And that card is going to use, it's going to be super colorful. I'll just show you what it looks like. Isn't that fantastic? So if you're interested in how to make that, you need to come to our Stamp Technique Club. We will have so much fun. Now, did I totally, okay, I should have stuck this down first. So let's just make sure it's the right size. It is. Not my favorite ribbon choice, but I had given my mom all the Petal Pink ribbon. She's helping me out getting some stuff ready for my classes while I'm gone. Lots of helpers while I'm gone. I love my helpers that earned free stamps to help me get ready for classes. It's so fun. Okay, so we've got our little tie-dye situation going on here. I really don't like that ribbon. The tie-dye and the check are not good. So get some petal pink ribbon. It's perfect. Okay, now I am actually going to show you how to stamp the flower on a different... I also don't have this die with me right now because someone else is using it for a card for an upcoming class. You guys need to make sure and sign up for all my classes that are coming up because we have a lot. But I'm just going to show you how I would stamp this color and contour situation on a bigger piece, and then I'm going to use my smaller piece here that I've already made. Okay, so now we're going to use two colors called Shaded Spruce and Soft Seafoam, which is really cool. I saw those colors again in the pamphlet that they gave us, and so I wanted to just really mimic that pamphlet color. The Shaded Spruce and the Seafoam are really also what caught my eye after the pinks that were in there. So now we're going to use our color and contour bundle and our stamp set. And what I like the most about color and contour is the dies. And you can see they're called Scalp Contours dies. But again, a lot of those are not in my stamp room right now because they're out for prep. But we've got this kind of scallop, this kind of scallop. We've got one that takes up almost the whole card front. So if you're missing your stitched shape dies, these are, in my opinion, like as cool as the old stitched shapes dies for card making. But I'm going to show you how I would stamp this situation on this bigger piece, and then I'm going to actually put this other piece on my card because it just fits better. So you've got this outline stamp, and that's what we're going to use with the you know what? I remember now. I didn't even use... I used a whole nother green here. Oh, I've already sent that away. Also, someone's using it. So I actually, just so you'll know, I stamped the outline of this flower in Soft Succulent. But I'm going to use Shaded Spruce here on this card. So Shaded Spruce. Ooh, that's fancy. And then I'm going to come in here with this inner flower piece. And this inner flower piece matches it completely. I'm gonna pull that off. We're gonna stamp that in Soft Seafoam. And that just lines up like so. I line up this one and that one, and then the other two line up easily. And they're not made to line up perfectly. Okay, they're just not. Don't stress about that. And then I love the You're Absolutely Amazing. I mean, certainly the people that earned this incentive trip are amazing. It's this talented group of stampers. So I thought it was a perfect sentiment. And I just went with the Shaded Spruce for this big, bold statement. Okay, right across that. Wonderful. Now, you can see when you do the Soft Succulent for the outside of that, which I loaned out already, then that does, your green pops, your Shaded Spruce pops a lot more. So try the Seafoam Succulent Shaded Spruce combo there. And then what I did here is I just felt like there was too much white space. Okay, can't have white space, especially on this fancy card. So we are going to take this little stamp in the stamp set, color and contour, and it's like a little speckle. So we do that sometimes just by flecking the stamp, like our paper, or we just kind of fleck it on there. But this is a more controlled way to kind of get it exactly where you want it, which I love, because what I did is I just kind of put it around my card, all around. And you know, when you're stamping with one of these clear stamps, you want to make sure and stamp on the Stampin' Pierce mat because you want to have lots of good contact there. You can try to kind of sneak it into these little nooks and crannies here. They actually fits quite well in there. And then I left that area around it open. So actually, on my card that I designed, I used this smaller piece because I thought it fit better and you could see more of the tie-dye. So I wanted that to really pop. But again, loaned out that die, so I just wanted to show you how I stamped that. And then the last thing we're going to do, and actually once I get this little divot on, I kind of like that ribbon, but I do like the petal pink better. I just think it really pops. Voila! And we are done. So I hope that you really enjoy that video and love the spiral die stamp set. Spiral die number is 156,927. It's $17. And the color and contour bundle, I will tell you, is 158,356, and that is $50. Okay, do not forget about the starter kit, which is $155 for $99. You would be crazy not to do this. Okay, this is the best deal ever, and plus no shipping. Okay, so you could get the color and contour bundle, the spiral die stamp set. You could get tons of ink pads, tons of ribbon, cardstock. You could just go on and on and on of all the things that you could get for $155 for only $99. So just start making your big, what I call big nasty wish list, because you're going to have enough on your $155 to get a ton of stuff. I had another point. Oh, while I'm away, okay, I'm on this trip, you can take advantage of my Maui special, okay? So when you spend $25, you get some clear epoxy elements. Okay, they're new. If you spend $50, you get a chamois. That's awesome. That's perfect when you're doing the tie-dye stamp set. When you spend $75, you get scissors, paper snips. But if you spend $125, then you get a host set, okay, of your choice. And I will put a link in this video to the information about this Maui special, but this is going to run, I believe, until the 26th of May, okay? And you'll get 5 free cards, okay? I have so many cards right now, and I would love to share those with you. I hope y'all take advantage of all this wonderful stuff. Oh, I forgot, I've got a pile of cards over here to show you using the spiral die and color and contour. So, like I said, this is a card that we're going to make at Stamp Technique Club. It is June the 4th and 5th. It's the 4th at 10 a.m. and the 5th at 7 p.m. So I hope you could join us live in Central Arkansas or online. You can Zoom in or on the day group, which is on the 4th at 10, or you can watch the replay. So we have people that do both. I made this copy of the catalog from Spiral Die, and the colors here are Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight. That's the 2 colors I used there. Here's one that I made using Balmy Blue and Magenta Madness, and I colored up some of that cool ribbon. You can see what happens when you have inked things recently and what happens when you've used it quite a bit. This is a color combination of new end colors. This is Papaya and Polished Pink, Pale Papaya and Polished Pink. And I've got some more color and contour cards. So you've got this flower set in there in addition to this flower set. So I've got a couple, lots of pretty cards. These are all swaps and gifts and cards that I've received in different swaps that I've done. So lots of color and contour gorgeousness to share with you. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, here's those epoxy elements that you get with a $25 order. Aren't those cool? I love them. I've got them in a pile right here, so I won't lose them right by my stamp area. Okay, you guys, I will see you next week live. This will be pre-recorded, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.